Good afternoon, Trade House. It is Shane Carlisle for L&I Trade House on the 15th of the 9th at 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, I've not done a video in a couple of days because obviously things have been a little bit crazy. Everybody's getting on so well at the moment. The Trade House is doing amazing. A couple of tweaks have been made over the previous days on targets and stuff like that. Just in sole respect, obviously, there's a few lads that have just come into the process, and looking after speaking with Mark yesterday and Zach absolutely opened my eyes towards something, to another part of the process. And Mark, he was showing me a trade over Zoom yesterday that went, it didn't quite make 1 to 3, but it made a 1 to 2.4. So that sent the cogs turning. Why are we not struggling? Because, like Nick's just put on the group there, he could have had 5 1 to 3s today, But again, he was trailing for a 7 and got stopped out. So he could have took 15% today. But again, the greed monster gets everybody, everybody. I'd probably say in the past week, there's not a trade where I've tried to trail it and lock in more profits, And this again is part of the mindset of the whole process. If you've got a mindset where you're always wanting more because the markets can offer you more, then you're always going to have that mindset where you want more. I'm victim to it. Everybody that I know who's a part of the trading process has been victim to it because they know what's in the markets. They know that there's over 7.7 trillion pound a day traded through this platform, and again, the greed monster takes over because you know what's in there. All right, mate. Hello. Hi, I'm right to give you a call back. I've just set Zoom off. Sound, mate. Cheers, pal. Yeah, beautiful, mate. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye, bye, bye. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we're absolutely all victim to the greed monster, whether it's in the trading world, whether it's in your working world, whether it's in the gambling world, you always want that bit more. You're human, you go out for dinner somewhere, your plate comes out, there's not quite enough on there for your appetite, you're going to want more, and that's in a restaurant eating. It's not even looking at a money industry that's got stupid amounts of money blowing through it. Put it into perspective. You go to a carvery, an all you can eat roast setup. That first plate you take, you become the greed monster, because it's there in pots, and you take an extra roast potato, an extra scoop of peas, an extra whatever pile of mashed potato, because it's there and you can take it. And 9 times out of 10, I mean, I've got an absolutely stupid appetite. I can eat a small horse, but there'll always be still some left on your plate. So why not take 1 roast potato, 1 blob of mash, 1 scoop of peas, eat that, eat your plate, go back for another plate. But you've ate your plate, you've finished your plate, and then you're going for another one. Instead of going for the big mountain to start off with and absolutely filling yourself up where you can't get any more in, you're going to benefit more from having 2 plates at a smaller ratio and be more satisfied, because in your mind you've just completed 2 plates of food, when really the first plate that you would have bought would have probably equaled them 2 plates. But the greed monster took you because it was on tap and it was there. And it pretty much resonates in any industry that you go into, let alone the money industry. When you know what's traded through the foreign exchange and through the cryptocurrencies and through the indices markets, it's absolutely unbelievable the amount of money that is dumped and pumped through this program. you know, and the greed monster is such, well, you know yourself in your walk of life, there's got to be one part of your life where you took greed over just settling, you know. I like to use the Carvery setup because it resonates. I know it doesn't resonate in money wise, but in terms of what you do through the process, you pick your plate up and you absolutely load it because you can, and then kick yourself that you didn't finish it because your eyes were too bigger than your belly. You know, same thing with the markets. Nick's a prime example today. My friend over in Bangkok, he could have took 15%. Now, 15% out of the market on any account, regardless whether it's a 10,000 to 100,000, 15%, a lot of people struggle to get that in a month. And he could have took that today, you know. But again, they're not losses, they're lessons. Because now he'll come back into the markets tomorrow. I wouldn't say with his tail between his legs, but with a wiser brain and a smarter way of thinking, that as soon as that 1 to 3 year, he's closed it. Done. You know, now I'm looking at a process for my new lads, and well, not lads, new members, new people, whoever, that to take a 1-to-1 every single day is going to be a lot easier than taking a 1 to 3, right? So coming into the process at the beginning, a 1-to-1, if I can get all my members at a 1-to-1 on £100,000 account, they're taking £1,000 a day. Profit split of 80%, you're taking £800 a day. Now you tell me what job that you know now in the sort of working world that everybody who's going to see this lives in can produce £800 a day without being a CEO or manager. Even a manager doesn't make £800 a day. You know, the 9-to-5 job, you are capped at a limit of whatever your next fucking bloke's on, because you ain't going to get higher than him until you sat in his seat, you know. And a lot of people nowadays stand on them to get to that seat, you know. In this industry, you don't have to stand on anybody, you stand next to them, you know. I don't reach out, you know. I'm not one of them people that will reach out to people. I've tried the cold calling through the nutrition, you know, the cold messaging. It's not for me, you know. I do me. I like the fact now that I'm comfortable talking to the camera, because I can do me in front of the camera and everybody else can benefit from what I'm speaking. I've been through the process. I'm going through the process. I'm learning every single day, but I'm in a position where I feel comfortable to openly teach people what I've learned, because I've been in the Zooms till 3, 4 in the morning. I've been, again, back up for 7 into another Zoom. You know, I've done the 5 days of every week, every day training for 6 months. You know, this is the things that my students aren't going to have to go through, because I did that so they could benefit from what I've learned. Now, the teams that I've learned from have been absolutely amazing. You know, they've basically held my hand through the process, you know, and I've become financially free from them, from their teachings. Now I can teach and sort of eliminate certain things that I thought weren't really important. Yes, they're important as you're going along, but at the beginning process, all you need to know is how to become profitable. Because once you become profitable and taking losses, because I'd say losses are more important than wins. Because if you're not having losses, you're lying to yourself, because you will be having losses. Losses are a part of the process. Now, again, it took me a long time to be comfortable with taking losses, you know, but they're the bits where you're going to, once your day's done and you've had a loss and you come back to your charts later on, you open that loss up and you find out why it lost. Get your pen and paper, write down your trade plan. You know, we wait for a break of structure. That's the ultimate If we don't have a breaker structure, we don't have a trade, you know. It's as simple as that. You're not getting a banker's candle until you've had a breaker structure, you know. So from the word go, breaker structure, that is all you should be thinking of. You know, you have a mark, the trend is your market structure. You know, that's how the algorithms are taking it. So we always go trend. Once you break the trend with a break of market structure, then we start looking, you know. And again, there's so many opportunities from the 1 minute to the 1 month. It all depends on what sort of time frame you want to sit in a trade. Now, I was absolutely at my wit's end waiting at the 4 to 1 hour. But again, I wouldn't have learned what I learned if somebody had just showed me what I'm teaching. You know, when now I'm showing people my sort of little version of the, you know, it's, you're not getting this whole picture to start off with that's just absolutely covering you in information, you know, which is good if you're one of them people that like to sit and dissect every single video. Like myself, you know, I took it upon myself to learn this industry, you know, and I learned every aspect of it. I learned the position sizes, I learned the risk management, I learned the structure of the market. You know, I probably spent 2-3 months looking at market structure, you know, but that was a decision I made to understand this process. Now I've got a member, Zach, Sam, Mark, Nick, you know, there's Manda, there's Kerry, there's so many people looking towards me because I speak so much truth. I'm not here to bullshit you. This is going to be a hard journey, but if I can not dumb it down, simplify it, where you become profitable a lot faster, and then you start learning the higher time frames, you know, getting to a point where you're probably putting one trade on a week, but comfortably knowing you've took your 1% in the morning to then possibly put a 15-30 minute time frame trade on to let play out for the week. If it blows out, doesn't matter. You've made 4-5% on your little 1-1s, you know. So come the end of the week, if that blows out, it doesn't matter. You're still 4% up. You only need 2 weeks at that to pass your account. You know, it's all about bringing it down to bite-sized chunks. The market's an absolute animal. Absolute animal. It will eat you up and spit you out, as it has proven today with one of my traders, you know. But again, he's learned so many lessons from that happening that tomorrow he's going to come back smarter, stronger, wiser, not giving up. The main thing is do not quit. You know, yes, it's going to get hard when everything's fucking red. But wouldn't you rather deal with that than not know what could be? You know? Do you know what I mean? So going forward, obviously my plan now is to look at how many times a 1-to-1 would come in at where we're at and what we do. And if it's beneficial, who can't survive on £1,000 a day? Well, £800 a day. You know, if you can't, then you need to look at your lifestyle. Because me personally, I could survive on £800 for the month of how I've managed to step my lifestyle costs down. You know, I lived in a van. That was more expensive than living in the 2-bed flat I'm in now because of the fuel I was churning, the insurance, you know. So I made the decision to get into a community housing, which brought my cost down. Now I've put my brother in there. He's paying the costs, you know. So I have no rent costs, which a lot of people is one of the main bills. But I put things in place to get rid of that cost. You know, again, my 1-to-1 time costs, as everybody knows, I've got to a point now where I have to charge for my 1-to-1 time because my phone's going that crazy. I'm sort of having to pick. I don't want to overload myself because I like to have that personal touch with each one of my students. You know, when it gets to a point and I'm having to generically make videos, then I'm going to have to look down other avenues to, you know, delegate my time to other people. Like, I'd like to be at a point where my students have got students. You know, that'd be an absolute dream to me. For me to teach someone and for them to then go on and teach others, that is the ultimate success for me. Because I've spent them years learning what I've learned to teach you to become free, which that is success for me. I've taken somebody from a position where they're not comfortable living paycheck to paycheck to living the best life. And it's only costing them a one-to-one risk every day. Now, we've been chatting a lot about risk in the group recently, you know, because it is a massive factor. But at the end of when obviously you first come in and all you hear is, oh, it's risky, it's risky. Going out your front door in the morning's risky. You know, getting out of bed, even to go as far back as waking up, is risky. You wake up and take a deep breath and something's in the air, it clog your airway. You know, if you live in a what if mindset, you're never going to go anywhere. Live in a what's this teaching me mindset, and you'll grow every single day. You know, oh, what if I tripped over a curb? What if I said one to Mark yesterday that absolutely made him chuckle. You know, you could walk along with your dog pisses up a tree falls on you. You know, it's possible. It's a risk. And if you was to write every risk down from when you wake up to when you go to bed, you'll have a list as long as, I don't know. There's so many risks. You're cooking, you knock a pan onto your leg. That was a risky process. But you're having to do that to make sure you get food inside you. But you're taking a risk by cooking. You're taking a risk by boiling a kettle. You're taking a risk, you know. Why not take a risk in a money industry that could potentially set you free? With the right risk management, it's not a risk. Yes, in essence, risk management, but you've managed that risk, you know. So what, Scoobs? 1 second, guys. She's over at your grand's if you want to zip over, mate. So yeah, you know what I mean? Thinking of it like that, everything's a risk. There's my girl, everybody. Come say hiya. Oh, Maya, come in. Hi, everybody. You know, walking my dog is a risk just because of the sheer size of her. But, you know, why not take that risk? You know, and I'm not one of them people that's going to message you and say, hi, do you want me to change your life? You know, if you want to change your life, you'll message me, because we make constant forward action every single day. You know, I took it upon myself to learn it, and now I want to teach it because I know what I know can help people. Okay, so enough of me rabbiting on. I just want to show you, obviously, on a couple of pairs. Now, this is only going into the trade house. This won't be going out public. So I just want to show you on a couple of pairs what I mean. Like this would have worked out perfectly to show you, you know. So I'm just looking at 12 and 4 and 7 and 11. Okay. So again, our process, we've had structure before 12 o'clock. So I've put a line. That would have been my candle. Now I'm looking at 10 points for 10 points. You know, a good friend of mine, this is how he trades every day, 10 points a day. And it was something that never really stuck with me until what happened yesterday. Now I'm going to show you on this trade here of why it's so powerful, or one-to-one. Okay, so that there, quick £1,000 from when it, let me jump, it bought me in there, get me ruler, Okay, so it bought me in there, sold me out there. Okay. So in 45 minutes, I've just made my daily wage and I'm done. £800 in 45 minutes at the account size that I'd like all my students to be at within the next 12 months. Okay. But again, discipline to the plan, right? So if we were going for 3, like we are doing at the moment, that trade would have lost. And then I'm having to look for another one. So why not bring the risk for a 1-to-1? Everything that's going against the trend, guys. You know, trend says we're going up, but I've had a little break during my hours to the down. Yes, it was only to get that in balance, but I'm going against the trend, and I've just took a 1-to-1, and I'm done. Here, yes, this did just go for a 1-to-3, but if I were to go for me 1-to-1, within the first 4 candles, I was done. 20 minutes. So within an hour of a day, I've took £1,600 there. You know, that is set at the 7 because that was our original. And then I'm obviously looking at a 10, just a 10 for 10 each side, which is giving me that little bit more breathing space, because if I'd have had 7, again, it would have just, I'd have just got it, but spread would have probably knocked me out of that. So I've widened it to 10. And again, 1-for-1, done against the trend. Let's jump back. That was a no trade because, again, I was waiting. I was waiting for it to break under, but it didn't break under in my hours. So I had to class that as a no trade. Okay. Let's get back here. Have I got any more lines on the UCAD? No. Let's jump in. Got the GU. I did quite a lot of testing on the GU yesterday. So there'll be lines everywhere. In fact, I've got my figures here at the 1-to-1. So going for a 1-to-1 in the London session, I've had 14 wins, 1 loss, 2 no active. So for 17 days, I've took 13%. You know, you need 8% in 20 days to get a funded account. You know, that's taking pretty much, well, 1 loss and 2 not active. So you've had 3 days with nothing. Bentley, enough. And you're on top. I mean, you can pretty much have the rest of the time off. I mean, 10% for anybody is enough. But again, see, we didn't have quite a good. Again, we were still 3% up, but 6 losses, 9 wins at a 1-to-1 through New York. So I prefer the London session for the Great British Pound, obviously, because Great British, London, 2 and 2 together. Well, let me jump down here. Well, I'm looking at another process of using limits and stops as well. But we've had the structure formed. Okay. Again, I'm only looking for buys because of what's happened here. The suite come up, it's sat at this price. Yes, you could have gone look for a sell, but it would have blown you out. But I'm looking to go up because we've had a massive drop there, and they're going to want to claim some of this back. So me, in my brain, that was my turning point. Yes, if you'd have sat at that, you'd have caught that. But how I'm working things, it's broke. Okay, at 9 o'clock, which I'd have had an alert on.
Get it in now. Lie down.
And again, look for a 1-to-1, no drawdown. 25 minutes. Yes, carried on. And this is what I'm on about, the greed monster. You know, be happy with what you've got. Because you came in the markets with nothing. You came into this industry looking for money, looking for more money. You know, yes, that one did go for a 1 to 3. You know, but for the beginning process, to take that and become profitable, then look at ways of gaining, obviously staying in the trade. But if you can comfortably take that every day within half an hour and be done, signed, shut off, complete, could you live on £5,000 a week? I know I could. I could live on £5,000 over 6 months. Because of the frugal lifestyle I live, through choices I've made from living in my van to, you know, a yellow sticker shop. I'm not one of them proud people. You know, I'll happily go and dive through the reduced aisle. Doesn't bother me. It's still the same food. If I open it and it doesn't smell right, I'll get rid of it. But I've probably paid 20p for that when someone could have paid £5 for the same product. But because they wanted it premium off that shelf for that day, I ain't bothered. It can sit on the shelf for 3 days and then I'll have it as a yellow sticker. But I'm one of them people now that obviously, I wouldn't say a penny pinch, you know, but I understand the value of money versus time. Now, time is something that you're going to never, ever, ever get back. You know, me sitting here talking to you, I'm giving time, but I'm giving time to the people that I know are putting the time in. So I'll openly sit here for hours and show things and do things that are going to put you in a position where you're ahead of everybody else. Because you're putting the time into me by being a part of my trade house. And again, just being lovely people. I won't have any. As soon as a negative word or anything's put in towards anybody, it can be anything, they'll be gone. You know, I am not going to stand for negativity because I am a positive driven person. Yes, we all have shit days where we're not feeling great, you know, and they're the days where you've got to dig in and say, hi guys, I'm just looking for a little bit of inspiration this morning, you know, and I guarantee there won't be one person in there that will say, oh, fucking idiot, crack. You know, they'll all be behind you. Look, mate, we all have them. Let's do it. You know, anything I can do, send me a message, send me a voice note. You know, I'll crack a joke. If you're after just a bit of a giggle, I'll try and find some stupid dad joke that will make you laugh, you know, because that's a decision I made to become positive minded. Now I look at everything in a positive outlook rather than a negative mindset. I lived so long in a negative mindset, bills, money, I couldn't give a shit about any of that stuff. You know, as long as my kid's happy, yes, they've not been very well past couple of days, but that's something that can't be controlled, you know. Again, a variable that cannot be controlled. So obviously I've not been able to get to my charts in the morning. So I've been looking around the New York session. But we have variables in life, and it's how you portray them variables to better your daily experience. You know, it's a daily process. Now, if you start thinking of it as, right, it's going to be a year before I'm doing anything, then it's going to take you a year before you're doing anything because you've already made that assumption in your head that it's going to take you a year. If you tell yourself it's going to take you 2-3 hours to tidy the room, guess what, guys? It'll take you 2 to 3 hours to tidy that room. You know, if you tell yourself it's going to take you 15 minutes, guess what? It'll take you 15 minutes because you're making them decisions in here and telling your brain that's you are the boss of this. It doesn't control you, you control it. And when you can learn and understand by growing your knowledge 1% a day, within 1 year, you will have grown 365%. You know, and talking money terms, if the banks only give you 0.01% a year and you're taking 1% a day, I wouldn't even like to know the the times whatever that you've just produced over what the banks can produce. Yes, we won't be trading every day, you know, but even at 200% for the year, you know, it's balmy. But I totally understand the mindset that some people are in, because they're living in this paycheck to paycheck mindset. You know, they're not looking for self-development. They're not looking to progress themselves. You know, there's some days where I find it really hard, but then I pick a book up. You know, I turn my phone off, I pick a book up, and I just let it flow. You know, I've got so many inspirationally books. Like this one's a really good one. And it's a bit cliche, Quit Like a Millionaire, but the actual story behind it shows a lady, Christy Shen, when she first started, before any of the personal growth, her original story, she used to dig around clinical waste in her home country to make toys to sell them. You know, everybody's got a story. You know, my story began when my marriage broke down, and best way to put it, I used to rely on others to live my life for me. You know, I'd find not in essence, I'd find a partner who would mollycoddle me, mother me, you know, so I didn't have to do the brain numbing things, you know. But then when I got to the point where I had nothing and nobody, and there was only me that could do it. Yes, I had influences from Rachel, who was very good. You know, I had my mum knocking on every now and again. But the end of the day, there's only you that's going to make anything of yourself. You know, there can be influencers coming left, right, and center, but until you make that decision in here that you want to start a personal growth program with your own mind, then you'll never grow. You'll never grow into anything. Yes, you'll stay comfortable in your little comfort zone to the point of where you hit retirement, because I guarantee by the time you hit retirement, there'll be no pension scheme. Look how the world's going. You know, you're all paying into this pot for them to trade. I've got a friend, Mark, pays £500 a month into a pension. £500 a month that he might not even see because it could possibly liquidate, you know, but he's made a decision to come out of that pension, which I can't fault you, Mark. You know, that's £500 now being released into your family's home rather than into some big Wales bank who's just going to do what we're doing here. You know, but if your eyes aren't open, you've been told that pension scheme is going to be the end of your days, survival money. That's pretty much what it is, survival money. Because you ain't going to go out and buy yourself a new Bentley or a 4-bedroomed house on your pension. I tell you now. And when people say you need to save, it's a load of bollocks. Yes, saving's good, but it'll never make you a million. You work out on your wage right now of what you can save per year, and then you divide a million by that number, and that'll tell you how long it'll take you to make a million on savings. You know, I wouldn't even like to know, you're probably looking at best part of 60, 70 years. You know, investments is where your money will grow, but you have to understand investments and how leverage works. You know, leverage is a massive word. It's got so many different things attached to it, but ultimately, if you can understand the word leverage, then you will progress in this industry. Manage your risk with the right leverage, and there's no cap, guys, no cap whatsoever. Okay, so again, yes, that went for a 1 to 3, but I'm happy. It took me 1 to 1. Yeah. Yes, it took me probably 2 hours for it to break my line, and it broke fucking beautifully. Came back, give me my 1 to 1. I'm done for the day. Okay. Let's have a look here. What we got. Again, like you say, I was doing both sessions. So, but like that there, we caught that. And that was on a buy before that drop. Now, you wouldn't have got a 1 to 3 out of it. But we had the ledge formed, which gave me my candle. Okay. Again, simple trading. Yes, there's a lot behind it, what I've had to get to this point. But I want it as simple as possible. Now, within 3 candles there, 15 minutes, I'm in and I'm out. Bang, bang, bang. 15 minutes. I've took my day's takings. Again, yes, I've had to wait for this to happen, but it's still within my hours. And within 15 minutes, it sold me out and I'm done. For then that to happen. But that doesn't matter because my take profit's already happened. And then I can just watch that, come to me next day. You know, I'm not looking at anything else other than my hours. Again, this one. Now, I don't know why that's got. Okay, so this is what I'm trialing with the stops. So we've created 2 forms of structure there. Again, we're looking to buy because we're going up. Now, I was looking when that happened, okay, of putting a buy, buy stop. When this has happened and then it's come back down, I would revert round now to a buy stop. And lo and behold, within 1 candle's that. No, 2, sorry. Because that one didn't quite wick. So 10 minutes, just from the knowledge that I know and I've acquired, in 10 minutes, I've made 800 quid and I'm done for the day. That was on my hour as well. I get to screen probably here, just as that peak was forming. You know, we've got another peak there. It's pretty much sat at that price. Lovely. And I know when this happens at 7 o'clock, London opens. So you're either going to have an influx up or an influx down. Market's telling me we're going up, but that doesn't mean anything at this time. You know, they could completely flip it on a penny here. But because I follow rules that not only I've created, you know, there's so many people that have added to this process that they all deserve recognition. You know, Zach, he's put me on to using stops. Now, I've never used stops. I've always used limits because that's how I was taught. But he made, I wouldn't even say an error. He put a trade on yesterday, sent it me to see if it was okay. And I noticed this from his trade. Then I went back and implemented it over a 17, 20-day period, and it saved probably 5 trades. You know, so from him taking it upon himself to put a trade on, yes, it weren't dialed in by Art. He's a week in. You know, he's playing, he's getting used to, he's getting comfortable seeing what's happening. Every day, you know, he'll contact me. Hi, Shane, you know, what's this? How's this going? You know, he's in there, he's asking the questions, he's being a part of the community. You know, and from that happening, I've managed to add another process that saved 4 or 5 losses over 20 days. You know, that's saying when the student becomes the master. Again, I learned from Mark with the 1-to-1. Instead of going for a 1 to 3, he had one trade that went for a 1 to 3, just in, let's just put it in perspective. Say that was your 1 to 3, don't worry about it. But that 1 to 3, it came to 1 to 2.4 and then turned around and knocked him out. So that got me thinking, why not bring it down? At first, I thought a 1 to 2, but then I did the maths. We don't need 1 to 2. For you to become profitable and leave your current status, you need a 1-to-1. Not even every day. You know, if you were to bare minimum pass a challenge, you'd need a 1-to-1 twice a week. Bare minimum, you need 8% to pass a challenge. So if you could take 2 trades at 1-to-1 every week, you'd pass your challenge. But again, the greed monster and the wanting more, it's always going to be there. Because like I was saying with the carvery analogy, you know, you're always going to want to put your hand in and take more out of the pot than what you need. So if, again, it's the mindset. If you can get the mindset of where you only need 1% a day, which we can openly give you, you know, look, within them 2 candles, yes, it fucking took off. Well, I'm happy. For some people, them 2 candles there, it's like 2.5 weeks work, maybe 3 weeks work. No, sorry, 800. Yeah, you're looking at 2 weeks. If you're on 400 a week, that's nearly 80 hours of work. And it's took me 10 minutes. Yes, it's took me 3 to 4 years beforehand. Don't get me wrong, because like they say, anything that's worth learning is not going to come easy. And it hasn't come easy. It's come at a loss. It's come at a cost of my time. You know, it's come at a cost for my children because I've not been around for so many hours, and you know, but now they're reaping the rewards now because I can just click off, go and do the school run, come back. Hi everyone, okay, how's it going? You know, but I've made them decisions to better their future. You know, there's going to come a time in the future where they just say, Dad, can we do this? Yeah, no problem. Shut my computer down. I've made my percent today. Let's go. You know, we'll jump in the car. We'll piss off to the play parks. We'll go to the Sea Life Centre. We'll jump on a plane. We'll go and see my friends over in. We're talking to Kerry. Well, Kerry over in Colorado. I've got Jeff over in Koh Samui. I've got Nick over in Bangkok. I've got Jackie in Cyprus. You know, there's so many places where people are openly offering me to go and see and say hello. That time will come where I'll put my kid on the back and we'll go because I've made my money for the day and I'm happy. But again, it's a mindset, a belief. If you believe you're going to take 1% a day and you'll be happy, then you will be happy with that 1% a day. Shut down, finished. Yes, sorry, guys. I've got other work to be doing with the community and my students and stuff like that. So I'm not literally coming away from the charts, but I'm educating. I'm not having to grind and get my percentage and then educate because my percent's done by, well, within half an hour of it breaking my structure. You know, and if it doesn't activate, it doesn't activate. If it loses, it loses. I have another opportunity at New York. You know, but New York doesn't seem to be very profitable for the Great British Pound pairs. Again, back testing, I'm going to jump on a UCAD. It's a nice low spread, so I'm going to get my profits quicker. And if it produces anything over 10%, then I'm happy. Because it's 8% to pass your funded. Anybody can live on best part of 10% of £100,000. You know, if you're getting £10,000 a month, you're at the bare baseline of what you can achieve in this market. You know, I've got friends. There's a friend, Rion. He's got a £400,000 account. He's got a £300,000 account. He looks to take 2 to 3% a month. Now you do the maths on that, you know, and that's 2 trades at 1% a month over 20 days. And he's done in the excess of £70,000 profit. Well, no, sorry, 7,000 because we're at one, say 14,000. He's got 700, 70 for 10, 7 for 1. Yeah. He aims for £14,000 at 2% because of his account size. You know, it's all about your belief and what you want. You know, if you're wanting £100,000 profit, then you're going to have to work for it. You know, I'm trying to find a process. Well, I'm not trying. I've found a process where the bankers will give me a 1-to-1 at 7 o'clock every morning. Come win, lose, I can take 1% and I'm done. And then obviously I'm going to look at possibly what I'd possibly do I'd have that. I tried this last week and it did work, but then turned around and knocked me 3%. So what I'd do, I'd mark that as my 1, and I'd probably actually set it at a 2. Because then when that blasted through, I'd put that number in my stop loss. So I'm locking in my percent. So regardless what happens above, yes, it blew and took my 2 and then turned round. But if it didn't get me 2 and then turned round, doesn't matter because I've still took my 1%. So I'm looking at ways where we can follow the trades and take more. Don't get me wrong, and there will be ways of doing it. But for now, if we can structure 1% every single day, again, you need 2 trades a week to pass an account at 1%, not 5. You could work 2 days a week for a maximum of probably 3 hours a day and still take £1,600 a week. Now, a lot of people don't talk numbers. I like talking numbers and percentages because it puts into perspective what is available. And I'm completely freelance myself. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I was having a bit of a chat with somebody the other day, won't mention names, but it absolutely does in the affiliate side because they're just putting shiny objects to get you into a program. Yes, there's groups that will help you, and I've been quite lucky and blessed to be a part of 2 that have, 1, taught me to trade, and 2, the other team taught me a strategy that's made me financially free. Now I'm wanting to sort of compress that into a 1-to-1 basis where anybody can become profitable. Yes, I charge for my 1-to-1 time, but that's my time. I give this industry enough of my time, so it's time for me to claim some of that back, which nearly everybody who's jumped on, and they're absolutely fine with that because they know what's coming. They know I wouldn't say power because I'm not a power hungry man. I'm a very humble person and I'll speak to anybody. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, but there's going to come a time where my time becomes very limited because of everything that's going on, the communities I'm building, the businesses I'm looking into, so I do have to charge. Now, there was a time at the beginning where I was hoping to set it where I don't charge. But after speaking with my mentors and speaking with people, I've give this industry enough of my time. 12-hour days, sometimes I've been sat on it for 20, 26, 30 hours, again, people work a 40-hour week for something that they don't even enjoy doing, and that's only 8 hours a day. Bearing in mind, there's 24 hours in a day. It's what you decide to do with them. You have 8 hours working, yeah? A lot of people have 8 hours sleeping, yeah? That leaves 8 hours every single day where you could be developing your mind. Yes, we've all got family, we've all got partners, or most of the people that I know have got kids because they're the people I want to resonate with. I want the people who want to do more for their next generations, not for themselves. If you're out for yourselves, then you're going to end up with a greed monster, to create generational wealth for my kids, even if it takes me the best part of my life to do it, I will do it because I made that decision to come into this industry and make a killing and make a life for my kids. I'm not arsed if I'm happy. I am content with where I am. I've got my children, they're happy. They don't want for nothing, So that's me. I'm at a level now where I'm completely comfortable with my life. Yes, it's been hard. I'm not going to say it hasn't. But again, I took them actions and now I've been able to compress what I've learned into a small time window, looking for 3 things. We want a break of market structure. We want a candle to retreat to, and we want to take profit at 1%. You know, now it sounds easy. I make it sound very easy, you know, but that's 4 years of absolute tooth and nail learning to make it sound that easy. Once you get in, as most of my students will tell you, it's a whole different ball game when you're actually putting trades on and there's none of these candles here and this is all built. Look, there's nothing happening there. But I know as soon as session opens, we're seeing some big noise. Call the size of these candles. So I took it upon myself to back test them hours. And lo and behold, I came out 13% on top. You know? And again, the 1-to-1 is what's going to make you financially free. Let's jump back here. See, this was a loss. We had the break, which gave me my candle. Okay. Came back down, tagged me out. So that would have been my loss, but that weren't set at the 1-to-1. Sorry. So again, though, it was out. Was it? Why has it not gone? Why has it not got an arrow? Anyway, it was a loss. Weren't a sell unless it came down and then bounced me back out in that one candle. Let me have a look in the 1 minute. It might have actually got it in the 1 minute. It's green, so and that would have been one candle. Bish bosh bash. Is that it? No, it sold me out. Look, came down, didn't quite return back, sold me out. But we don't care. Losses are losses. They happen. Okay, so I think that might have been the. Oh no, here we go. Okay, so this is one of them stops I was talking about. Again, went for more, but 1-to-1, guys. There was no saying it hit them wicks there and spun out and went back down. But it don't matter. We've had 2 ledgers during open. So I've set, once that ledger's come back down and formed, I've set a buy stop at that price. Yes, it could come back down and knock me out. But I've more chance of it going that way because the market's going that way. And I took my 1-to-1 in 3 candles. You know? Buy stop is when the price goes through. A buy limit is a bounce. Again, got to stop here because it formed a ledge. So as soon as that candle closed, I'd have put a stop there, a sell stop. Now I have gone back looking at 1-to-2s, I think. But again, 1-to-1. I was done in that first candle. 5 minutes and finished. Structure broke. Give me the candle. 1-to-1. I mean, let me go back to my front because I think I've got the 2% workings as well. You know, so once everybody becomes profitable at a 1-to-1 every single morning, where I'm seeing blues in my community, then we'll look to, there you go, at 2%. So I had 12 wins at 2% with 3 losses, which give me an overall for 17 days of 21. But again, let me. There. Step 1, 1-to-1. Give me 13%. To up it to 2%, I only gained another 8%. Now, don't get me wrong, 8% is absolutely lovely. But I probably had to wait per trade another 20, 30 minutes when I could have been done, dusted, and I'm out for the day with my kids. You know, it's all about eliminating things that are going to make your heart go bub, 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 bub. Because when the trade's happening and you're seeing, because it's 100, the lot size and everything I trade, it's £100 per point. You know, so when you're seeing it go minus 800, regardless of who you are, when you're in the red 800, your heart's going. But trusting a process to know that until it sells out at 1,000, you're still in that trade for a win. You know? So let me 1-to-1, guys, will take you to success. I promise you. See, I was looking at the Asian as well between 7 and 11 last night. But here, we formed a ledge. Now, I actually took this on one of my accounts just to see if it had worked. Okay, so we had the ledge. Yes, we broke off, but we formed a ledge, in my opinion. So I set a stop just to see if it would fall through. Market's coming down. But we're not fighting against the market, you know. Yes, it had a little pullback during the beginning of, the beginning of London. Yes, we had a pullback. But ultimately, we were heading down. It could have carried on. But belief in what I do and what I see and what I've tested, I put a position there. And I actually took 2% at a £500 risk. You know, and I came out. Let's have a look. Just so there's no fluff for anybody or whatever. No, he didn't really. You know, can you see that? A 2% risk. I mean, to be fair, it was at £600. But I'm guessing it'd have been at like 2.1 or something like that. But you know, it's there in blue. I saw it happen. This is what I've noticed. If we're looking for stops, they sort of form a ledge on either side of the time. Then they pushed away within well, it's quite a while, that one, to be fair, on time scale. An hour and a half. And I took £1,000 done. You know? It's not about the greed, guys. Here. Formed a ledge. Yeah. So I'd have a stop there. Come up. We've had a candle that's sat at the same price. So as soon as that's closed and gone up here, I'm setting a stop there. Lo and behold, didn't even think about coming back. Give me 1%. You know, that's 2% from New York, from London to New York, and I'm done. I didn't take that one because I was with Izzy at the time. But again, I'll look down here for the 7 o'clock, 7 and 11 tonight, Asian. But 1% is the key, guys. 1% a day. That is our golden goose, as you like to say. You know, we can take 1%, 2 days a week. I can have you funded in 4 weeks. No, I'm not going to say you're going to hit that straight and not have a loss, you know, because that would be absolutely alien of me to say that. But you've got, say you have a win, a loss, you're back to break even. You're 3 days to get another win, you know. And at 1%, you're 3 times more likely to get it than going for a 1 to 3. It's just simple as that, isn't it? Anyway, guys, just thought I'd do a little roundup video of what's happened over the past couple of days, because obviously I've not put much content out because I've been working behind the scenes with students and people, and it's all been a bit, you know what I mean? So absolutely, thank you so much to all my students, all my people that are in the community that I have created. You all mean absolute world to me. You're like my family. I literally, hi, so come and say hi, yeah. Daddy's just on close up. Come and say hiya. Hi. Oh, puppy, who's this? Yeah. This is Izzy, everybody. Little unexpected visit. Just put clothes off. He's saying hiya. Hi. You both kisses. What about? Yay! Yay! God, I love you, kid. Yeah, so just want to say an absolute massive thank you to absolutely everybody in the group. You keep me going on a day-to-day basis with all your positive posting and words. And if you weren't there, I'd find it a struggle. You know, obviously I've had a couple of days where it's been a bit rough sleeping with this little one not being too well. But that's life, guys. You know, we do what we can for these little beautiful humans. She, I don't. Yay! 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 You both kisses? Oh, kisses? What about clapping? Oh, doggy. Gone. Come on, tell her go. Right, guys, I'm going to sign off now and go and get some lunch sorted and stuff. Well, tea time, innit? I hope this helps somebody. You know, I'm always at the end of the phone if you need me. Again, 1%, guys. Will absolutely change this little one's future. 1%. Not even every day. Blessed day, guys. Hope you all have an absolutely amazing day, week, month, year. Let's get it, guys. You know what's possible.